You can find CT on all digital streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Google Play, Amazon, YouTube, C.T. And I'm everywhere you can find it. So that's like everything, man. I try to put my music on every platform that I know of. So my name is CT, 29-year-old rapper songwriter.
Are you originally from Wisconsin?
I am born and raised in Milwaukee. 414, what it do?
Ever thought about leaving?
Sometimes, but I love this city. 2020. So I have a neurological disease called myasthenia gravis, and about November, October, I had an acute exacerbation. Basically, myasthenia affects your nervous system. All the complete nervous system, it can attack the nervous system. And I got sick. Like I said, I had an acute exacerbation. That's basically like a flare up of the disease. I hadn't had one since I basically found out that I had the disease. That's when I found out because my body was in like a flare up. Most people don't get this illness until men don't get it until their 40s and women get it in their 30s. I got diagnosed at like 14 or 15. And the acute exacerbation with this illness in particular for me at the time was affecting my breathing. I had to go through these IVIG transfusions, getting plasma, and basically a new life source. Basically, they take this set of plasma and they run it through these IVs, and it's like a 4-hour process I had to go through for like a week. It's hard to explain, but yeah, man, I was out. I couldn't work on music, couldn't go to the gym like I was doing. I had to sit out from everything I was doing for a while. Like it was like a 5-6 month process. And before that, I was on a lifestyle journey, a lifestyle change. I probably weighed almost close to 400 pounds. I got down to about 298, and that's kind of how my 2020 was ending. Like going up until like a couple weeks ago, almost like a month or two ago, where I kind of started getting back in the loop of being able to do all the stuff I was doing to work, especially like with my music and, living the lifestyle that I wanted to live at the time. So I got back in rotation a couple months ago, almost a month ago, back in the gym, back in the studio, got back in the studio, it's been a little process, but 2020 ending to the beginning of 2021 has definitely been a challenge with this. Man, I think any human being, it's gonna make you look at life a little different when you dealing with life and death. Like, because if it would have got any further, if I wouldn't have caught it in the time that I caught it in, I possibly could have been put on a ventilator, and if the ventilator didn't work, I probably would have ended up dead. For me, the music is like my venting space. It's where I can take a lot of this stuff and put it in the air and, get it off my mind and, have a process like, okay, if I want to say certain things or if it's certain stuff that's bothering me about it, when I sit, with these beats, I'm searching for beats and I'm buying production or leasing. It gave me the chance to take my mind and, make it something like I can vent, I can say what I need to say and like get it off my chest. If I feel like I'm stressed about something, hell yeah, I'll put that stuff in songs. The music is where I'm at. Like that's where I can completely be free and I can just let my mind just flow, like, let it out, get off, what's on my chest, what's on my heart, and just let it go. You know what I mean? Like, nah, definitely, it made me want to create a lot more, like, because at the same time, it was like some stuff you take for granted. Like, you never truly know how much you enjoy it or how much you love it until you can't do it. And not being able to do it for such a long period of time, like I said, it was like a 5, 6 month process where I couldn't even do certain runs with like raps. Like, you know how you listen to a song and you'd be like, oh, this is my favorite part. It's a couple bars of the song and a couple of lyrics that every time you hear the song, you just go. Like, I couldn't even hold a certain breath to do certain things. Like, be like, I can't do it because I ain't had the air to do it. And you know what I mean? Like, it was just like, damn, like, this is really my life right now. So, no, man, it's definitely pushed me to create a lot more and be more vulnerable in the music and more open to personal aspects with certain stuff. And it's just like, hell yeah, like, I gotta go there sometimes. Like, I gotta put it in the music because I think life experiences are what music is about. Like, outside of the fun aspect of music, like, some of the best songs you're gonna hear in life is about life. Like, the struggles that people go through, the traumatic experiences, I think that's why we enjoy certain artists anyway, because what people fail to realize with music is you gotta go in that space and you gotta live sometimes. Like, for certain artists, just being in the studio don't always click for them because you can only create when you live. It's okay to take time away from stuff and be able to be away from it, because when you come back, you got a broader aspect to talk about. Like, for me, like, I'm not a person that sit up and write songs every day. I'm not that kind of artist. I don't sit around just writing raps, none of that. I like to live my life because it gives me something to talk about. And going through that process, it was like, all right, when I get back to where I'm going, this is gonna give me something to put in the new music and something to give a creative space to be able to say, okay, this is what I'm coming with now. So the journey to music. I've been creatively writing, I ain't gonna say creatively writing, but everything started in 4th grade for me. I had a teacher in elementary school, one of my greatest teachers, one of my favorite teachers I ever had in my life. He used to make us write journals every day. He gave us them little black and white notebooks that you used to get, and he made us write in them every day. Just a space where, as a kid, if you couldn't talk to your parent about something or something that was going on in class, anything, he was just like, anything you want to write, if it's poetry, if it's, a note to him, a note to another student, or just stuff that's on your mind, he was like, write it in this notebook. He would read them at the end of the week, and we would get a grade. It wasn't graded on a scale of being good or bad, but it was like that you put something in a notebook. And I used to write. For me, it was just like poetry. Like, it kind of started back then. Like, it was like short stories and a few lines from watching movies, and my thoughts and my thought process, and like that went from like 4th grade to the 8th grade. 8th grade, I started rapping. We had like a computer area, and we would pull up beats on YouTube, because you could from the beginning of the time, like, you can always find instrumentals on the internet. So we would pull up instruments and I would rap on them. And I started rapping in like 8th grade. I never knew how to write to beats. And I want to say like 2017, 2015, 2016, I got into actually writing music. And that's kind of like when I figured out it was something that I really wanted to do and what I was passionate about. We had a studio called 2035 Studios. Me and my best friend and a couple of more of the homies, we all had, invested in this spot. We was testing out the studio equipment, getting everything set up. And the engineer that we had in the studio at the time, he wanted to test out his mic to make sure the feedback on it was right. He was like, somebody just go in there and say something, or somebody go in there and rap. So I went in there and I freestyled. but I freestyled for like 4 minutes. And when I came out, everybody was like, the hell what the fuck was that? Why don't you rap for real? And everybody was like, CT, why don't you? Everybody was like, bro, come on now. You ain't never thought about doing it for real. And I was like, nah, but I guess I can. And producer, I work with one of my other best friends. His name, Lean Beats. I had some of his beats on my computer because we used to work together too. So we would chill all the time and be together all the time. And to this day, I got them same beats on my computer, like 100 some odd beats, maybe 50 to 100 some odd beats. And I just picked one day. And I was like, let me figure out how to write to a beat. And picked out this one specific beat. And I kind of like started chanting to myself, and I came up with like a hook, and I was like, oh, that's how they do it. Like, people just catch rhythms to beats and try to ride the space in the beat. And it was like, all right, I got this hook. I hit, our engineer in the studio at the time. I was like, hey, I think I got something. And, I went to the studio, laid this hook. He played around with it for a little bit, did a couple chops, did a couple like effects on the voice. A couple minutes later, we had a hook. And he was like, all you gotta do now is do the verses. So like a couple days to a week later, I had like the first verse of a song. It's called Darkest Hour. First song I ever wrote, first song I ever shot a video to. And that was like the foundation for everything. It started with that one song, and that was just like, all right, I wanna do this for real, like, and it went from there. Man, Darkest Hour to now, well, it's a Darkest Hour part 2 now. I'll say that. It's a continuation of the song on one of my latest projects. And just building from that foundation, like being a better writer, being a better understanding of my abilities and who I am as an artist. Like, I was finding myself then. I'm still finding myself as an artist. I think as a person that wants to create, you want to continually evolve and continually grow. So I went from, a baby in that aspect to, aging process through these couple years leading up to now with these 2 projects that I got coming out now. It's like some of my best material. I feel like they might be the 2 greatest bodies of work I've made to date. Like, just being able to know where I am and what I stand for and what I want my message to be, and being free in my music. I think I want my message to always be about motivation, pushing yourself, and having love for the things that make us whole. Like, I've always preached in my, I ain't gonna say preach, but I've always continuously pushed motivation and staying on top of your shit, like being, on your A game at all times and never letting people take you out of that space, even when you feel like you ain't got nothing else to prove, or if you feel like people don't respect what you do, or if you feel like you looking over yourself, it's what you do it for, like, and why you do it. It's kind of like knowing that this is where you want to be and who you are. Like, it's more about loving it for self and loving it for the right reasons. I actually don't think producers get the respect that they truly deserve at times, because without producers, us as rappers and songwriters and singers, you don't have a landscape to paint on. It's like having a canvas. The production is the canvas. Without that canvas, I can't create. You know what I mean? But it's a certain canvas that you gotta have. And I think every artist knows that, everybody got their own type of production that they work the best on. You know what I mean? And for me, I like soulful stuff. I like stuff that's gonna make me wanna say something. And it's gonna make me wanna put a thought-provoking piece of wording on it and, create a certain substance standpoint that I can give something to my people, or, this set area of people that enjoy what I do. What does success mean to me? I think success is it definitely varies from person to person. I don't think I quite figured that out yet for myself. I think just being happy with what I do, like I said, understanding that for me, especially early, these last couple of years with the two projects that I last created, was understanding that I had to be comfortable with who I was, and I think that's my biggest thing with success for me is like being happy with myself. I wasn't always happy with myself because I was looking for people's approval with what I do and my craft and, you know, I guess recognition. Um, and, I had to get away from that because I know what I do and I know how good I am at it. And, I think that was my biggest thing for success is just understanding that you have to be happy with yourself. If you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy with nothing.
Musically or personally, what do you think the best advice you've ever gotten is?
Never give up on yourself. Always push through, even when shit is the hardest or unexpected, you know, just push. All you can do is try. But the thing is, if you don't try, you never know what the outcome can be. So, and I got them words from Jen. I know y'all did one of these with Jen, and Jen is one of my best friends, and Jen is my engineer. That's who I've been working with basically since like the middle of my first project. Jen has been the only person that's recorded me. Jen mixes my music. Jen masters my music, and Jen knows how hard I work. And he always tell me, don't give up. You can't quit. I don't care how hard it get, how unbearable some situations may be. You just can't quit. The Flourish. Shout out to my man Streets, the boss man. The merger I just made a couple months ago with the big homie. I joined his movement outside of my Just Enough music group. I joined the Flourish. You'll hear that tag in a lot of new music. I got 2 upcoming projects, Dancing with My Devils and the next episode. And man, yeah, be on the lookout. CT is on his way back. For all you cats that's been sleeping, thinking I disappeared, I'm on my way.